Welcome to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video. I remember being about 9 years old and seeing this book in line at Safeway. It creeped me out. Cat just bumped the mic. You're in my light, Gabby. Then I started seeing a trailer for an upcoming movie. No dialogue, just a foreboding tune over images of Colorado landscapes and a river of blood. A few years later, it came on the TV, so it was heavily edited between commercial breaks and strategic blurs. At my age of the time, I didn't understand the subtext and what else was going on besides Jazz getting murdered with an axe. All I knew is it was scary. And when I saw it in my later years, when I could actually appreciate all that subtext, I found this movie truly terrifying. This is The Shining. Jack Torrance is applying for a job to be the caretaker of the Overlook Hotel during the winter months. He and his fam will be the only occupants during the off-season. It gets too snowy to let guests drive up these treacherous snowy roads. Jack is a recovering alcoholic and once hurt his son while drunk. I doubt that's on his resume. Anyway, he's been sober ever since. Oh, and by the way, the last guy butchered his family. But there's plenty of axes and an open bar. I'm your man. He gets the job and tells his wife, Wendy, this will be good for him. He'll be able to work on that novel he's been trying to write. Their son Danny is psychic, with an ability called the Shine. He can see things like dead people, visions, but not the lottery numbers. His mom thinks he's got an imaginary friend named Tony that lives in his mouth and talks through his finger. Tony's actually a ghost that shows him inappropriate stuff like a ghostly Onision. Carrie White's a woman now. This looks like the start of a Mr. Ballin story, doesn't it? Jack drives his family to their home for the next few months. I think Jack's already...
I know all about cannibalism. I saw it on TV.
I think Jack's already looking forward to it.
It's okay. You saw it on the television.
I'm sensing sarcasm. This is the Overlook Hotel. Pretend there's an enormous hedge maze behind it. It's closing day at the hotel, so Jack is shown the ropes. Danny meets the iconic duo, the Grady twins. Hey, what's up? He has Shining, not Riz. They get a quick tour, they have an apartment to stay in, a huge kitchen, and lots of food. There's even a shortwave radio to contact the authorities that won't travel in snow. And there's an easily disabled snowcat. There's enough food, so they won't have to go full Donner Party until about March.
Do you know how I knew your name was Doc?
This is Dick Halloran, head chef of the Overlook. He can tell Danny has the same power he does, the telepathic ability he calls Shining. Halloran tells Danny that the hotel also has a shine because some shit happened in the past. And above all else, avoid room 237. That's where Halliday hid the Easter egg. We cut ahead a month into isolation. Danny rides his little trike through the house, and it's like every kid's dream, really. Jack wakes up for work with breakfast in bed. He might never want to leave. And by work, I mean struggling with writer's block. While Wendy takes Danny into the hedge maze. No playing ball in the house, mister. Oh, look. A hedge maze for ants. The sucky thing about getting into the center of a hedge maze, you still have to get back out. Danny seems drawn to room 237. He wants that Easter egg, but the door's locked. Meanwhile, Jack's getting mean and irritable from writer's block and demonic influences.
When I'm in here, that means that I am working.
Or is it isolation and sobriety? There are layers here, people. The phones are down, but cops are a radio call away, sure to get there in time to stop any axe murder rampages. No words here, just emotions.
Come and play with us, Stanley.
Meet the Grady twins. Previous caretaker took an axe and overreacted.
Tony, I'm scared.
Tony's got advice. It's not real.
It's just like pictures in a book, Danny.
They can only trick you and scare you and unlock doors, apparently. And Jack is being super weird.
You would never hurt Mom or me, would you?
I don't know how well she shows up on camera, but this is Gabby, one of our other cats, and we took her in a few years ago. We found out she was owned by a neighbor, and they moved away, and they left her behind. So when we came into the neighborhood, for about a year, she was hiding in the bush in the front yard. And one day there was another stray cat that the kids were, throwing food to, and then this one comes running up, chases that other cat off, and let herself be known that she was the owner of this house. And so she started coming into the house more often, and then she would knock on the door to be let in. She would say, "Hello." And so we took her in. We named her Gabby. Gabi is Tagalog for night, which kind of fits her. She's very dark and mysterious, and she's getting impatient. And so that is Gabby. Room 237 is unlocked, and Danny can't resist. Jack has a nightmare about killing his family. I'm sorry you had a bad dream. Oh, it wasn't a bad dream. What? Danny reappears looking messed up, like someone tried to go full Homer Simpson on him, but...
You did this to him!
And Wendy blames Jack, who's probably innocent, but I've been here working with no play the whole time. Jack starts to make friends of his own, ghosts with booze and an open tab. Wendy finally gets the truth from Danny. Some crazy woman in 237 attacked him. Danny calls for help from Mr. Halloran, who shines with him. You know he's a minor, right? Jack checks out 237. Oh, these ghosts are getting better and better. Jack goes for it because he's Jack f***ing Nicholson. She might be a 10, but it's a sliding scale. Now he really needs a drink. No crazy woman. No old hag who's a great kisser. What? Wendy wants to leave, but Jack still has a job to do. He's signed a contract, possibly with the devil, but who knows? These ghosts really know how to jam.
Bourbon on the rocks. That'll do her.
Drinking's bae.
Jack meets Mr. Grady, the guy who turned his twins into octuplets. He's full of child-rearing advice.
Perhaps they need a good talking to.
Wendy checks out what Jack's been working on.
My inner goddess is doing the dance of the seven veils. Oh, Anastasia Steele, what am I going to do with you?
What the fuck? I know I made a joke here, but really, this scene is so simple, yet so terrifying. A single sentence, repeated for pages and pages, and just brings home how much Jack has lost it. Jack's mad, literally, basically losing his shit to the point of being psychotic.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brain.
And he's sending mixed messages.
Give me the bag.
So she gives it to him.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Wendy locks him in the pantry, so no pickles for a while. When he wasn't drinking ghost booze or writing the worst novel ever written, Jack's been busy sabotaging the Snowcat. I was gonna make a Jeremy Renner Snowcat joke, but that's bad taste. Get well soon. Meanwhile, the ghosts are on Jack to step it up, so they let him out of the pantry. So ghosts can't really hurt you, but they can unlock the hell out of a door. Mr. Halloran is on his way to help the boy. Oh, dear sweet man.
Mom! Mommy!
Danny is in a trance, saying red rum over and over again, and writes red rum on the wall in Mommy's lipstick.
Red rum.
Which is murder backwards. If you want to help out Tony, be less cryptic. Then again, there's a theory that these ghosts can only communicate through mirrors and reflective surfaces, so this kinda actually makes sense. Jack shows up with an axe, so they hide in the bathroom. Wendy tosses Danny out the window, but she can't fit. Really? She played olive oil.
Here's Johnny!
But Wendy's Team Coco. Jack disengages long enough to go kill Halloran.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Then Jack starts chasing Danny, and Wendy has her own adventure. I don't like the next season of Ted. While Wendy is driven slowly mad by Stanley Kubrick's relentless perfectionism. And corpses. Danny leads Jack outside. Danny leads Jack into the hedge maze and tricks him by doubling back over his own tracks, trapping Jack in the maze. Wendy and Danny meet outside and escape in Halloran's snowcat. To hell with the boiler. Meanwhile, Jack finally chills out. Don't ask. It's supposed to be weird and thought-provoking. That was The Shining. Jack Nicholson delivers one of his most iconic performances, a perfect descent into madness. That said, the movie starts with him kind of being off, so there's not a huge character arc. You feel like he was one bad day away from flying into a rage already. I get that the movie preyed on his weakness, but maybe bury his weakness a little more, so when it comes out, it's a little more shocking. But still, Jack. Shelley Duvall is raw, vulnerable, and a woman trying to protect her son while grappling with her husband's unraveling sanity and a director out to torment her. Danny Lloyd, in his first and only major film role, didn't even know he was making a horror movie at the time. I wonder what they told him instead. Just stare into the camera like this. Perfect. The Overlook is a character in itself. It's enormous, like a beast devouring these tiny people. It looms over everything. The layout is kept purposefully confusing, like a maze. There are implications about it being built over ancient native burial grounds, so it's a possible reason for supernatural influence. It's an almost throwaway. The soundtrack gives me chills to this day. Kubrick's direction is meticulously crafted, symmetry and unsettling compositions, and long, long tracking shots that draw the viewer in. Iconic shots just heighten this tension. The use of the hotel's empty, cavernous spaces creates a sense of claustrophobia and isolation, making everyone feel small. It has incredible cinematography and one of the first movies to use Steadicam. It has a cold, almost sterile look. You feel like you're looking at these people under a microscope. Stephen King famously hated this version. Director Stanley Kubrick changed a bit of King's more personal elements, where the alcoholism was a more central part to Jack's character arc.
Drinking's bad.
Kubrick's vision is rich with symbolism and open to multiple interpretations. The film explores the Overlook Hotel as a malevolent force that preys on the weaknesses of its occupants. There's also a subtext that goes beyond the supernatural. Is Jack being influenced by ghosts, or is he simply succumbing to his own demon in a bottle? Then why could Wendy see them too? Because shut up, alcoholism affects everyone. Going with that. There's so much iconic imagery in this movie, referenced and parodied in countless properties from The Simpsons to Problem Child. A must-watch for fans of psychological horror. It's an essential experience for those who appreciate a slow-burn descent into madness, punctuated by unforgettable imagery and a haunting atmosphere. Despite Mr. King's disdain for it, I'm giving The Shining 5 Bs. Sure, there are some tiny flaws, but The Shining has always been a favorite of mine that I enjoy on several levels. Because sometimes the scariest thing isn't ghosts or goblins, but the demons in ourselves. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, the bell, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles.